Adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs, are kind of every bad thing you hope doesn't happen to a kid. So it's abuse, neglect, family trauma, so an incarcerated parent, single parent household, mental illness in the family, substance abuse in the family, immigration issues in the family. And you hope you don't have any of those. Our kids have 3 or more of those.
Welcome back to Grow Healthy, Help People, a podcast that Accordis, our company, puts out, talking with great nonprofit leaders. Today we're talking with Karen from New Pathways for Youth. Karen, how's your morning going?
It's going great. I just walked all 3 dogs, so I'm ready to start the day.
The dogs are happy. That's great.
Yeah.
So where are you located?
Phoenix, Arizona.
You've been there your whole life, or is that a newer area to you?
So I moved here full-time in 2021.
Okay.
I used to split my time between Chicago and Phoenix, so 2 great cities.
2 great cities. I love Phoenix, and
Yeah.
I love all of Arizona. Neat state, really fun place to live. So as you and I were talking a little bit ago, you mentioned that you've been in the nonprofit space for quite some time. Tell me of your journey from high school to college and what you did for many, many years before you've been in this role with New Pathways for Youth.
Wow, high school to college, huh? So I went to college in Ohio. I went to high school in Ohio and College of Worcester. I majored in history. Wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. I love to read and write, and started out in some nonprofit publishing houses, worked for a medical association, and then my first real job, my big career break, was at Midwestern University. And I worked in the publications office and in the development office. Mostly because I wanted to write the newsletters and magazines, and I learned a lot about fundraising in that process and nonprofit leadership. So was there for 27 years, ended up earning a doctorate in higher education leadership. And along the way, part of my role was being involved in the community. So I served on a lot of nonprofit boards as well in that position. So I was in charge of the admissions office, marketing communications, alumni development, community relations. So I was able to serve on a lot of great nonprofit boards and really inspired me to do what I'm doing now.
That's a big role. So was it hard to step away from that role? I mean, you had quite a staff under you there. You had all the systems were in place. You just had to run this big machine. Leaving that, was that a hard departure?
It was one of those soul searching moments, right? So it was during COVID. And I was, living in 2 cities, splitting my time between Phoenix and Chicago, as you said, running this multi-campus, multi-department operation at an executive level. And as we all were in COVID, like I was in my basement on my laptop, and I saw all of our alumni and our students out in the community doing hands-on work, helping people. And it made me realize that I need to do something more hands-on. I need to really help people.
And at that point in your career, you thought, and I have time to do this. I can have a lot of impact.
One more chunk of a career that I've done a lot of great things. I loved my job, was very settled and happy and all of those things, but really felt a calling and a passion. And I've always wanted to help kids. So my mom was an elementary school teacher. So being able to help kids more directly was something that, was in my DNA and something I'm very honored and blessed to be able to do now.
That's great. So how did you join New Pathways for Youth? Were they searching for an executive director, or did you find them and seek them out? How did that happen?
So I resigned my job literally on New Year's Eve of 2020, and I didn't have another position, and knew I would find something, was confident. I had a big network in Phoenix from serving on a lot of nonprofit boards, and a friend of mine had served on the board of New Pathways, so I had attended some of their events. I had met the previous CEO. I knew about the organization. And in spring of that year, the CEO announced that she was leaving. And I threw my hat in the rink. And that summer, I was selected to be the next CEO. So I started that September.
How neat. So you took the jump before you knew where you were going to land. You were 3 months before you even knew there might be a job with New Pathways, and then another 3 months before you landed the job. Good for you. So on day one, when you started at a already successful and already running organization, what did it feel like coming into a new entity as the executive and having to figure out who's on the team? How do we continue having the impact we're having, but also identifying weaknesses or areas that need improvement? What were those first 3 or 6 months like?
They were, I really had to tap into a lot of humility and a lot of curiosity, and really wanted to learn, not what I was going to do or what I was going to bring, but what the organization needed and what its strengths were and where it could use some reinforcement and who the players were. So, the New Pathways has had and has an amazing team of people, an amazing group of board members who have sustained the organization for over 35 years, and a great group of donors that supported the work. And I just listened, did a lot of listening, and bringing the skills and the experience that I had from a growth perspective. The goal was to grow the organization, and that's what I had done for many years at Midwestern. So it was a really good fit, and it's been a great run for 5 years now that I've been in that seat.
Tell us more about the programs, the impact, and the focus of New Pathways.
So, New Pathways for Youth works with teenagers ages 13 to 21. They're all experiencing poverty, and they've had 3 or more adverse childhood experiences. So, a high adversity population of teenagers, and they want every opportunity and every goal in life that any other kid wants. So, our program is a one-to-one mentoring program. So we pair the youth with a dedicated, caring adult volunteer. And we also have a personal development curriculum. So because of our kids have experienced trauma and adversity in their lives, we really want to help them figure out who they are, what their goals are, not what happened to them, but what they want to be in life, how they want to show up, who they are. And so we go on a journey with their mentor through the personal development curriculum for a year to 4 years, and we've achieved amazing results.
Wow, I have so many questions to ask. So hope I don't bore you with my questions. So tell me about you said 3 adverse events. Is that the right wording? Tell me, what does that mean?
So adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs, are kind of every bad thing you hope doesn't happen to a kid. So it's abuse, neglect, family trauma, so an incarcerated parent, single parent household, mental illness in the family, substance abuse in the family, immigration issues in the family. And you hope you don't have any of those. Our kids have 3 or more of those. So they're dealing with a lot. Their families are mostly from generational poverty, and but the kids are still wonderful, smart, engaged kids. Yeah, and all the youth in our program choose to be in it. So it's not court mandated, or nobody forces them to do it. Their principal doesn't tell them they have to do it. They have to want to do it. And our program really only works when they're willing to, lean into the curriculum and embrace the idea of developing a relationship with another adult and being on that journey.
In your volunteers, they're not just great people who are willing to go grab ice cream with somebody from time to time. They're trained in your curriculum. Tell me more about the curriculum.
Our curriculum, we've had the same curriculum, we've copyrighted it. It's the same curriculum for
Okay.
35 years plus. And it's really helping people understand who they are, kind of unpack the stories we tell ourselves when we're young when we're young, the little voices inside our heads that say nobody loves you, or you're not good enough, or you're not smart, you don't matter. And we help them understand what those layers of storytelling and realize that that's not who they are, that they maybe have put themselves in a box, and we help them break out of it. The curriculum also works on the mentors. So the mentors realize, I always tell people I wish I had learned at 13 what I discovered at 50 something when I went through the program as a mentor.
I've
So
never thought about that.
yeah,
So these people are being trained in how to mentor young, adolescent, teenagers, and their personal growth is significant also because of the content they're processing.
yeah. We've
Um,
all had trauma in our lives. And when the kids realize that these adults who they think are, you know, capable and functioning and successful, when they kind of acknowledge the trauma that they've endured and overcome, it gives the kids a whole new sense of hope and possibility, because they know that they're going to get out of this, and this adult who's volunteering to be there with them is going to be able to provide them some new perspective and coaching, and they're also going to have fun together, and do a lot of interesting things. So it's really a powerful program.
So tell me about your team. I mean, you guys are an established organization, large budget. Tell me about your team, and then I want to hear about donors after that.
Yeah, so our team, we have 33 professionals. Our biggest team is our programs team. So in addition to running the programs and delivering the curriculum, we also provide case management, wraparound support for our mentors, our youth, and the caregivers, the families of the youth. So if they need housing, if they need a food box, if they need a workforce recommendation, we help because we know the healthier the family environment, the better chance the youth has to be successful. And the mentor has a coach, so it's not like here's a kid, good luck. It's we know that the mentor is going to need resources and support and a reminder of the curriculum and how they can help. They have the capacity to do a lot of hard things themselves with a little support from our team. So that's the biggest chunk of our team. We also have a school-based program that we deliver. We partner with our school partners to provide our curriculum in the classroom. It allows us to serve more youth with,
Not from mentors, but from teachers. Is that right?
well, volunteers. So we
Okay.
do recruit outside mentors, but instead of a year commitment, it's a 10-week commitment.
Okay.
So it's a kind of an intro to
Like a
mentoring,
hybrid almost.
and
Yeah.
it's supposed to be, it serves as a pipeline into our full level up
Full
program.
program.
Yeah.
How cool. And so you tell me about your funding sources. I mean, to run that size of team with the impact you guys are having, it takes money. How do you guys find money coming in?
So Phoenix is a very generous place to operate a nonprofit. There are a lot of family foundations in Phoenix who support a lot of amazing youth-serving nonprofits in the community. So the biggest chunk of our funding comes from grants from family foundations and other local sources. About 35% comes from individuals. So there's our
That's a big chunk.
mentors, our
Yeah.
board members, other supporters in the community who want to help kids, who see
Yeah.
the outcomes and the success of our program, and want to help us continue to flourish. And a small sliver comes from corporate donors as well. We have a little bit of government funding that we get redirected from the state, but not much.
Yeah. Government funding, as you know, comes with a lot of strings attached to it and requirements, which, we're glad to get the funding, but also there is kind of a bit of a double-edged sword sometimes going, man, we can only use it this certain way for this certain program at this certain time. So, yeah. I love that you have a very diverse funding array. private foundations, some corporations, 35% or so from individual donors, and a small slice of the pie comes from the government grants. That's a good, healthy spot to be in. Some organizations are 95% foundations, or even a couple of foundations or 50% of their budget, and that's just a hard place to be. We run donor dashboards for all of our clients, and we love to say, you should have three or more of your donors, or no more than 25% of your revenue. As soon as one donor is starting to give a certain level of revenue, you almost need to shove that money away and not use it for operating expenses, because that could go away next year. If you hire five people and somebody is given $160,000 a year, and you hire people and then that money goes away, do you fire those people? So shove that money away and use it for some strategic initiative, not just operating. Have you guys had funding come and go like that that's been challenging, or is it pretty consistent?
We've had funding come and go, yeah. And we also work very hard to maintain those relationships and to always bring in more possibilities and more prospects to the organization. So, that's the challenge of fundraising, right? Nothing's ever guaranteed, and it's a lot of hard work constantly to keep those relationships and demonstrate your impact and tell the story in a powerful way.
Yeah. Tell me about some of the systems you guys use. I mean, are you using industry accounting systems? Are you using more like QuickBooks Online? Are you using a donor management platform like a Bloomerang or Little Green Light or something, or Blackballed? What are you guys using?
So we use Bloomerang as our CRM for
Yeah.
our fundraising. We have uh, a contracted bookkeeper and accountant who help us. Our finance committee of our board is very active in helping
Good.
us think very thoughtfully about how we're planning and how we're balancing expenses and our revenue sources. We're still trying to uncrack the earned income piece. That's the kind of the
Yeah.
third piece of our braided funding. So
Yeah.
we're located right down the street from the Diamondbacks Stadium, so we sell our parking lot. We are the biggest fans of the Arizona Diamondbacks in the state of Phoenix because
I
when
love
they
it.
have a good season, we sell a lot of parking spaces.
I
So
love it.
that's when they were in the World Series. I think we made $10,000 in one evening. So that's a nice little buffer that we have.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, and I guess it'd be hard to charge for your services. The earned income would primarily be unrelated income, renting the parking lot, renting the building for something. But yeah, isn't it nice when a nonprofit can earn revenue from providing their services? So they
Yeah.
run more like just a regular business. They just happen to be a 501(c)(3). We've got a number of clients that are in that boat, and it sure is nice for them to say, we don't have to raise any money. We operate on the revenue we generate, but we raise money for strategic initiatives. That's a nice spot to be in. But you
Yeah.
guys have a really healthy budget, right? I mean, you guys, what is your rough estimate budget size?
We're about a $4 million
Yeah.
budget.
Yeah, that's impressive. Having that outsourced accountant is a great thing. You guys are also at a point, and if you're watching this podcast, Accordis, our company, we're a back office for lots of nonprofits. There's kind of a size that many nonprofits hit where they go, it just makes sense to outsource this whole function. So accounting, database, and marketing are the three things that we do for lots of organizations. In Karen's organization, $4 million, you have enough money in that budget to be able to hire marketing professionals and outsource the accounting to the right kinds of companies. So she's already doing that. If you are watching this and you're interested in launching Bloomerang or QBO or whatever system might be out there that you might need, we love Bloomerang, Karen. You chose a good one. I talk with a lot of people and they chose something else and I kind of go, oh man, you didn't choose the best, but it's kind of hard to say that. But I can tell you, you chose one of the top two or three different systems and platforms in the country. So good job on choosing that one. One final question. Where do you see new pathways in 5 years? What's a dream for new pathways in 5 years?
We want to serve as many kids as need our services. So we work hard every day to recruit mentors. That's sort of the limiting factor on our growth because we're a volunteer-based program, and we believe the program theory is very much that it needs to be a volunteer mentor. And so we are working hard to get our name out in the community, to develop initiatives. This year we developed a Latino initiative to help. That's the majority of kids we serve come from the Latino community here in Phoenix. So reaching out to that community to join us as mentors and as donors has been really successful. So we're continuing to build on that. So in 5 years, we want to be able to, right now we have about 300 kids matched in our program. We'd like that to be 500.
Okay, that's a big jump.
Yeah.
That's quite a hill to climb. If someone wants to get involved in New Pathways, what's the best way for them to do that?
So our website is npfy.org, and you can learn all about us there. You can sign up for a 1 hour mentor introduction session. It's a virtual session to learn about becoming a mentor, and all other information about our organization.
Great. And if you'd like to give, there's also a give button. So you can always donate from anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world to New Pathways. Karen, thanks for your time this morning. Excited about the work you're doing. Appreciate your life of service in the nonprofit sector, particularly with New Pathways and the impact you're having there.
Thank you, Shay.
Have a good day.
You too.